So, a while ago, one of my friends started playing Minecraft for the first time, and we started a survival server together. The only problem with that is, I have played Minecraft for a long time, and usually when I play survival, I just kill the ender dragon, build a creeper farm, and call it a day. But I wanted to do something different, so I decided to give building a try. The only problem with building is you need an idea before you can actually create anything. So I got to thinking about what I could do. And at the time, I was about to go on a trip to Korea, and I saw a couple of photos of their subway systems and thought it looked cool. So I decided to build that. And 2 years later, I'm still working on it. Even though I've been working on this build for 2 years, I'm not particularly close to being actually done with the build, and that's because I've been working on this on and off. But one part in particular that I've been putting off is the actual station part of the build. And that's because I already built the connecting station, and I didn't want this one to look too similar to that one, so I got to thinking about how I could do that. And I remembered a subway station while I was in Korea that used bricks. But the problem with that is, whenever I try to use bricks in a build, it never looks too good. So I went looking for a reference photo of subway stations in Korea that use bricks. But I couldn't find anything. That was until I was talking to my sister about how I was struggling to find something, and how I wish Google Maps would just let you look inside subway stations and see every little detail. And she said, why haven't you just tried using Naver? If you're like me and never heard of Naver before, it is a Korean company that has their own map system. And what makes this map system special is, for some reason, in certain places, it allows you to go inside certain buildings and see all the little details. So all I had to do was find a subway station that would allow me to do this, and that would be good. And after hours of searching, I eventually found this. An actual brick subway station that I could go up and down in and see all the little details. But the reason I'm showing you a screenshot right now is because they removed the ability to go in this station for some reason. But with that out of the way, we can start the actual build. There we go, this part of the build's now done. And if you want to see the station that I base this off of, it's called City Hall Station in Seoul. And I really enjoyed this part of the build because I got to use the stairs and the slabs and the walls to get the build texture, and I think it came out pretty good. The only thing that needs changing, I think, is this caution line, which is one too far in and needs to go out one. But now I think I can do the interior, and I'll be back when it's finished. Here we are, the interior is now done, and I got to use some design methods that I haven't used in a while, like clipping these armor stands into the ground to make these benches right here, which I think turned out really well. And I also found these vending machine designs on Pinterest, and I really like how they fit the build. And these shell blocks, by the way, they're probably my favorite thing that they've added to Minecraft in a while. It's probably the closest we're going to get to vertical slabs. and I decorate all the way down to here. And the build is almost done, but there's one thing that needs to be done before we can truly call the build finished. If you've ever been to Korea before and used one of their subway systems in Seoul, you'll always hear this little jingle when a train is arriving. And I wanted to recreate that jingle in Minecraft. But the only problem being is my redstone knowledge is limited to literally just shutting these two trapdoors. And I didn't even do that really well. But with a little determination and bashing my head against the wall, I think I can do it. So let's see how I did. Alright, after a long time and one YouTube tutorial later, I'm up to this. But there's one problem. In Minecraft, note blocks only go up to a certain note, and the next note is higher than what Minecraft allows. So the only reasonable solution I could think of is to read through the entire Minecraft wiki page for note blocks and see what I could find. While I didn't find a way to get a higher note, I did find out that a couple months ago they added the ability to make a trumpet sound using a copper block underneath a note block. And the reason why this is important, there's actually two songs that can play when a train arrives, and the other one sounds like this. But before I tried to make the actual song, I wanted to see how the trumpet sound actually sound like, so I made this. But it was a little too quiet for my liking, so I tried multiple at the exact same time, which sounded better. So I started on the actual song, which looks like this. But after 6 hours, this is as far as I could get. Which, as you can tell, doesn't sound like the actual song at all. And after 6 hours of trying this, I was ready to give up. But before I did that, I did one thing that I should have done from the start. Minecraft, is it possible to get a higher note on a note block? It turns out if you get two blocks that sound similar when placed under a note block, you can make effectively 48 notes instead of the original 24. And this allows me to go back to the original song I was trying to make. And after 30 minutes of trying to make it, I made this. And I effectively wasted 6 hours trying to make that song, and all this started over 3 notes. But now that that's out of the way, we can actually start on making it in survival. I still haven't collected all the resources yet. That wasn't actually too bad. That only took around 10 minutes, but I'll be back once this is finished. So I used a skulk sensor so that if you walk through here now, it'll play the jingle. And if you ever want to use a skulk sensor for your own note block contraptions, don't do what I initially did, which was use a redstone repeater like this to extend the redstone signal, because this will happen. And the reason it sounds like that is that it's playing multiple times, and that's because the redstone signal is lasting too long, because skulk sensors last for 10 ticks. And the way to fix this is to use a sticky piston like this, because it only activates for 1.5 ticks, and you'll get the normal result that you want, which is this. And we're finally done with note blocks. The station is now done, and I think it looks pretty good. And it didn't even take that long, besides the 8 hours I spent messing around with note blocks, but besides that, it wasn't too bad. And this is another thing that I can cross off the list of things I need to do before the subway is complete. There are things on that list is I need to complete the entrance to the station and make a couple more shops, but besides that it isn't too bad. And if you want to see a video on that, well, too bad because I haven't started on anything unless you are from the future, then go watch it. It's probably way better than this video. But that's all I have planned for this video, so if you enjoyed, subscribe, and goodbye.